Welcome back to Total F1. We have decided to discuss about the Alfa Romeo's colourful Formula 1 history at a moment when the Italian luxury car maker is ready to disappear once again from this great motorsport series. The present generation identifies the Alfa Romeo brand as a less competitive racing brand in Formula 1, with its modest achievement in the recent past. So, most people don't identify them as the first ever F1 champions. Regardless of the present-day situation, it was the team to beat at the initial stages of the Formula 1 championship. They left and rejoined the sport several times due to different reasons, and we are going to talk about them in detail. But before we proceed, hit the subscribe button and smash the bell icon for more exciting updates. In reality, there was no official entry from the Alfa Romeo company in the recent past, and it was just the rebranded Sauber F1 team. The Italian car maker had a title partnership with the Sauber F1 team over the last 5 years as some kind of marketing strategy of the company than its pure racing intentions. That is why we saw this prestigious automobile brand back on the grid after decades of absence. But last year, Sauber owners decided to sell the stakes of the team to Volkswagen Group brand Audi, and they are ready to join the grid from the 2026 season onwards. Their 5-year-long title deal expired at the end of the 2023 season, and they didn't want to extend their partnership beyond that limit to allow full freedom for the Hinwil-based squad to transform into Audi. They tried their best to find a new home over the last season, and there were rumours about a potential title partnership with Haas as well. However, Haas already announced its title with MoneyGram, confirming the disappearance of Alfa Romeo from the 2024 grid. Once, Alfa Romeo was a full factory squad, supplying power units to the customer teams as well, even though they are looking for just title deals at present. Alfa Romeo can be identified as one of the leading race brands in the pre-championship era. Alfa Romeo cars were the machines to beat in that era, and they were consistently achieving victories until 1934. With its early success, Ferrari founder Enzo Ferrari signed a deal with the company to withdraw Alfa Romeo's status as a manufacturer and was run as a Scuderia Ferrari after rebranding during the era between 1929 and 1938. But Alfa Romeo machines faced a huge decline in terms of performance after 1934, and that trend continued till the beginning of World War II. The major reason behind this decline was the inadequate development of the cars under the Ferrari management compared to brands like Mercedes. At present, Ferrari can be identified as one of the leading race brands in the motorsport world, competing in multiple racing categories. So you can imagine the fame that Alfa Romeo had as a manufacturer 8 to 9 decades back, when a giant brand like Ferrari also got the help of them to compete in Grand Prix events. After a heavy decline, Alfa Romeo decided to establish Alfa Corse, which was the motorsport wing of the company, to retake racing operations under its full control. They built Alfa Romeo 158 for the 1938 season and developed it into a dominant machine, step by step. They used this car till the end of the 1949 season, especially dominating most of the events held during that era. However, team management decided to withdraw from racing in 1949, following the deaths of Jean-Pierre Vimille, Achille Varzi, and Carlo Felice Trossi during Grand Prix events. But the Italian luxury car maker returned to the racing arena within less than 1 year as a factory team for the inaugural F1 Championship in 1950. They were confident about their Alfa Romeo 158 machine to use for the first ever championship, despite it initially being built more than a decade ago. However, it was developed further with a supercharger, and Nino Farina was able to win the inaugural Formula 1 driver's title with the help of this machine. Alfa Corse decided to use a more evolved version of the 158 car for its title defending season. So, Alfetti 159 was born as a result of this, and its major difference was the presence of 2 stage compressors, which helped them to generate horsepower around 420 bhp. This time, Juan Manuel Fangio was able to win the championship with the help of Alfetti 159. At that stage, Alfa Romeo was a fully state-owned company, running with a tighter budget. Alfa Corse achieved all these successes using only 9 engine blocks that were built before the war. But other teams like Ferrari and Maserati were coming with private investments, and Alfa Romeo had to face heavy competition with time. Despite its great success in the first two editions of the Formula One Championship, the Istituto per la Ricostruzione Industriale, the public holding company that controlled the Alfa Romeo company, ordered to withdraw its F1 operations immediately. The main reason was the rejection of the proposal to build its next-generation car by the Italian government. Since then, Alfa Romeo's operations were limited to ordinary car manufacturing processes until 1976. However, some F1 teams were interested in using Alfa Romeo engines for their Challengers due to its old legacy. So Brabham was successful in signing a deal with the Italian carmaker in 1976. With a long-term plan in its mind, Alfa Romeo management established its competition department called by the name Auto Delta in 1977. However, the company faced a little bit of difficulty, as the chief engine designer Carlo Chitti left the team with the aim of developing his own F1 car. Anyway, Alfa Romeo managed to complete the development process of its Alfa Romeo 177 engine ahead of the 1979 season. However, all the efforts went in vain, as Brabham decided to switch to Cosworth engines even before the conclusion of the 1979 season, but they continuously supplied engines for some midfield competitors in the grid without enjoying considerable success. They were never able to repeat the same success that they enjoyed with the Alfa Romeo 158 or 159 in the initial stages of the championship. Teams that used these Italian engines faced reliability issues more constantly, resulting in less demand for them in the Formula One market. They came with different varieties, but none of them showed considerable success, except the turbocharged 890T. However, it also faced considerable decline when the FIA came up with new regulations to remove the refueling process, limiting the fuel limit to 220 litres. So the only option was to reduce the power of the engine to limit the fuel consumption rate. So teams lost faith in these Alfa Romeo engines, and drivers like Riccardo Patrese labelled Alfa Romeo engines as the worst car he had ever driven. Its second stint in F1 as a power unit supplier was not a successful one, and decided to leave the sport at the end of the 1985 season. After decades-long absence from the sport, Alfa Romeo decided to return to the grid as a title sponsor. Actually, this deal was something beyond an ordinary title deal, as Alfa Romeo opened a multi-year commercial and technical partnership with Sauber. Even though Sauber agreed to rebrand the team as Alfa Romeo, the team's ownership, Swiss racing license, and management structure remained unchanged. They used Kimi Räikkönen and Antonio Giovinazzi's combination for the 2019 campaign, and continued that driver lineup till the end of the 2021 season. Their first title deal came to an end in 2021 and extended for 2 more years. In the year 2020, Polish oil company PKN Orlen also joined as a title sponsor of the Alfa Romeo F1 team, reserving a space for its Orlen brand within Sauber's official entry name. At the end of the 2021 season, Räikkönen retired and Giovinazzi lost his seat. Former Mercedes driver Valtteri Bottas and Chinese rookie Zhou Guanyu stepped in to fill those vacant seats at the beginning of the 2022 season, and they are still driving for the Hinwil-based team despite Alfa Romeo ending its partnership with the team. In all those years, Alfa Romeo's former customer Ferrari powered the Sauber cars, and it clearly showed the changes that happened over the decades. Both Alfa Romeo and Sauber tried their best to push the team to the top within the last few years, but nothing has worked as they had hoped. Finally, Sauber management decided to sell the stakes of the team to Audi, who wished to join the sport from the 2026 season onwards. So, Alfa Romeo wanted to find a new home at the end of the 2023 season, and they didn't see any advantage of wasting time and money on a team which is going to sell 2 seasons later. Alfa Romeo failed to find a new home and will disappear from the grid for a brief time period again. But Alfa Romeo management wished to join this great motorsport series again in the near future. What will happen to Alfa Romeo's presence in Formula One? Will it make a comeback to the sport, at least as a title sponsor? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. Thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel to get more exciting Formula One news. See you in the next video, guys. Goodbye.